Yeah, let's check out the parties. Yeah, right now. Parties. Rocket. No.
So the F1 was supposed to be the most glamorous event to hit town last weekend. But was it really as glam as it was supposed to be? Are we really the jewel of the East? The exclusive parties that were all the F1 rage had touted guest lists that included Prince Albert of Monaco and David Beckham and family. But a lot of no-shows. Actress Michelle Yeoh, who only materialized at the virtual cell phone event with her nephew, seemed a no-show at the tracks too. Where were all these guests and how did the parties fare? Let's take a look at some of them. One winning party was the one held by Red Bull at Santos's Cafe Del Mar. All 4 drivers from both the Red Bull racing team, David Coulthard and Mark Webber, as well as Scuderia Toro Rosso Sebastians, yes, both Bourdais and Vettel, showed up, even if only for half an hour. Some people we spoke to at the show said that the great music, relaxed vibe, and free-flowing alcohol gave everyone a blast of a time. For the Style of Fashion Grand Prix, which was held at the Mercedes Center, well, it was one party with no clear mark of success. Reputed to have been one of the best parties in Malaysia, they have unfortunately received the most bad press out of all parties held here. Show organizers pulled out all the stops with a huge hour-long fashion show by both Singaporean and Malaysian designers, and Dick Lee, also the creative director of Stylo, standing up from amongst the crowd and wowing guests with a surprise performance. Andrea Fonseca turned up in a $1 million dress. And yes, it actually does cost $1 million. Chosa Lee, Gurmit Singh, Alvin Ng, and of course socialites from near and far turned up in full force. They had great decor with lush boudoir looks, fast cars, and a sexy area for chocolate. But what wasn't a hit? The long lines. And according to some, the bad food, which was all gone by the time I got there anyways. And by now, everyone knows of the misplaced car keys. What about the most expensive parties to get a ticket into? Amber Lounge. At more than 1,000 Singapore dollars a person for one ticket. Was it really worth it? Well, if you were there only to sightsee the stars, then probably not. This party is known for attracting the likes of Naomi Campbell and Beckham and up to 16 drivers at one shot. But the poorest showing of many of the big teams on track was probably a party pooper for most of them, so they didn't turn up. But if it was a good party you were in for, Amber did bring it on in spades with good music, good service, unlimited drinks, and eye candy to spare. Names that did show: Xiao S with Hubby and Toe, a local starlet, Ong Ai Ling, Ron Dennis, Miss Diana Mendoza, Miss Universe, of course, Mika Häkkinen, Korean star Ryo Siwon, Bollywood babes like Mahima and Mindera, the Speed Divas who are Force India's cheerleaders, Coulthard, Truly, Alex Words, Jensen Button, and of course, podium finisher NICO ROSBERG, who turned up to celebrate his runner finish.
Yes, we can see.
Why? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? So, you actually went to the Red Bull party too, right?
Yeah.
And how was it when you went?
I went pretty late actually, I think after midnight, so I think
After the fireworks.
by then most of the fun had died down and all that. So don't blame me.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I'm old.
I think the Red Bull party was supposed to be the best.
Yeah.
One of the best.
It was
last
one
week.
of the best.
Yeah.
What about you, Ernest? Did you catch any of the parties?
No, I didn't go.
Old man now?
Yeah, I tended to hang out at maybe late cafes. Cafes late into the night. That's it.
And you
busy
do know
filing
that
stories
generally the party crowd doesn't go to cafes well
I know.
until 6 o'clock.
I was sitting at cafes thinking of stories to do the next
Most
day.
of us got work to do, man.
until midnight. But-
I was doing my work too, man.
But I tell you what, you see, because I'm not the kind of person who's cut out to be a schmooze, not like you,
Yeah.
So you should
Our
be
work is at the
telling
circuit,
us.
your work is at the party.
You should be telling us.
Yes, tell us,
Daryl is laughing in the control room, and I saw you, Daryl.
But how was Amber Lounge?
Amber Lounge was. How was your experience at Amber Lounge,
I was
Kaylen?
there only at the press conference and I didn't see it during the party itself.
You said that you had your invite, but you couldn't go in, right?
Yes, I couldn't because it
How
was,
come?
I was actually watching qualifying and everything. By the time I got to the track, after I cleaned myself up until pretty decently and not stinking so much, by the time I got there, they were like saying, okay, it's pretty much full house. I can't accept you in anymore because mine wasn't in, but I didn't pay a single cent for it. So of course they let the people who paid for it go.
I see.
Yeah, you
I
dress
didn't-
up,
Maybe
you
they
know.
didn't dress
Sure.
glam
No,
enough.
I think I was too
You
stingy.
can come in your post-sweaty, you know, your sweaty
Yeah,
post-F1
post-race.
They
race
don't-
clothes.
Post-race sweat.
Well, I don't know. Okay, apparently Saturday, which was the day that you went down,
Yeah.
was the best day. Yeah, apparently they had the biggest crowd at Amber Lounge and not many names, you know, because the drivers don't go to Amber on that day. And one of the bouncers, Jay, who was this really nice guy, the big burly black dude that you saw, he was actually the sweetest of guys. And he was telling me actually, Masa and Reckonen are usually their biggest clients for Amber Lounge, but because of the poor showing on track, they didn't turn up. So
I didn't miss anything then.
yeah, so yeah.
So
and
do you reckon that the Red Bull party is tops only because the rest failed sort of
Okay,
miserably?
why is that? I mean, why was certain parties a hit?
Yeah.
With certain
And
points
What
and
makes
why-
it? Yeah, what makes it a hit?
Amber Lounge, you said, is organized by.
overseas, by Sonia Irvine and her company.
Okay.
It was quite a hit, I think, because they had beautiful people. Okay, they had free flow alcohol, and they had good music.
I think in terms of celebrities appearing, they
didn't have
couldn't
that
compare
many.
to overseas ones because I think people
Correct.
like Sting,
Yeah, yeah.
people like
Exactly.
Naomi Campbell,
International stars.
all attended previous.
The thing is, these
Amber
people
Lounges.
were supposedly attending F1 in general in Singapore as well. So where were they? Were they not attracted by our Singapore track?
No, maybe it's the distance because in Europe it's very fast, you know, the travel times and all that. But to come
Dude,
all
if
the
you
way
had a
here-
free ticket to go to Europe
yeah,
to watch, the distance is still that far.
Yeah.
Would you go?
of course.
Yeah. So why should it be any different?
Maybe they have other commitments, like they need to be at the cafe at a certain time after the race, you
To
know.
not smooth.
You know, because some of us don't ooze the schmooze.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
the blow.
Yeah, but one of the key criticisms was that, you know, maybe Singapore
Yeah.
is not so sparkly in terms of the glam factor.
Yeah.
But now I think after the first year, all the attention we received, maybe they'll be back next year.
Yeah.
You
might
think
up
we'll
the
be able to
stakes.
bring it? I mean, after next year, a lot of people are going to have night races, you know.
You've
we're
been to
gonna...
Monaco. Tell us what's the difference.
Dang. You were dying to pull that one.
Yeah.
You were
Did you go
dying
to Monaco?
No.
Did you go to Monaco? Did you go to Monaco?
course
Neither did
I went to the Monaco of the
Couple of
East,
times I heard.
but she went to the
It
real
was-
Monaco.
You went to Monaco.
It's cool. It's cool.
Okay, what's
it's
different? What do we need to
party
do?
Why
wise,
is it cooler?
okay, honestly, celebrity-wise, they are left, right, and center until you actually can't be bothered anymore about the celebrities. You know, okay, I would give that they are more cool, you know, at parties, and they just, you know, slink away and all that.
So you're
But,
saying the
yeah.
key thing is that you are saturated with celebrities there, unlike you over
Well,
here.
not necessarily. I mean, for Amber, they had good parties here still, even though there weren't celebrities. But I think it's really the crowd that you pick. Like for Stylo, for example, maybe everybody was, their expectations were too high. You know, everybody was so dressed up and they served
Yeah.
nasi lemak in the
It
end.
was
you know?
invite only. It's supposed to be high class,
Fusion.
like
Yes, and
super.
they
You can't
serve-
buy your way in.
Exactly.
Also,
Yeah.
they serve nasi lemak
And they serve nasi lemak.
Fashion
Like they
party.
actually promised caviar and everything, which is why people were upset.
It's hidden in the fried fish.
I have no idea.
Maybe next
you
year.
know, go on, Yvonne.
Got extra egg? No? I could have been there for that. No.
Well, the thing is, the key thing, you know, judging by our conversation, we're talking about parties and all that, it's really, you know, what a lot of people think is, think of F1 as a rich man sport. You know, it's a high glam factor, high shine.
Orange
sort of
man,
thing.
rich man.
Yeah, caviar hidden in the fried fish or not, you know. It's about that sort of, you know, stakes. Well, hopefully we'll do F1 even better next year. There's
Yeah,
room
man,
for
we have to
improvement.
bring it on. Well, you better like give us more, you know, comments on how we can probably improve it.
Yeah.
So we'll-
Silently in
So we'll
emails.
be watching the newspapers and that forum over there.
Yes.
So well, we're running out of time. So thank you very much for coming on our show.
Yes, sir. We would like to thank Ernest, of course, the walking target. We would like to thank Leonard, who is our gentle giant.
And of course, Kaylen for first-hand accounts.
Our beautiful F1 girl who, in my opinion, you're hotter than the Greek girls, babe. So yeah.
But before we go, here's the Razorism for the day. Anything happens in Grand Prix racing, and it usually does. Well, that was by Murray Walker, who was a commentator on the F1 from 1949 till his retirement in 2001.
And this is certainly true, especially with the Singapore GP, where anything can and did happen. So stay tuned with us on Razor TV, as news is up next with Razor Top 5.
See you next week.
Ciao. Hey, wait.